At the start of December, Rockstar Games, the biggest entertainment company on Earth, dropped the trailer for their next game, GTA 6, breaking multiple YouTube records, currently standing at over 150 million views. However, the trailer was posted earlier than originally planned because a low-res version was leaked early on Twitter. Now, this may have been the latest Rockstar Games hack regarding GTA 6. However, it is not the only one, nor is it the biggest, because in September of 2022, Rockstar Games was hit by a massive hack, leaking a whole lot of information about their upcoming game. And while today we're not going to be discussing the particulars of that exact hack and leak, we are going to be discussing the hacking group behind said leak, a group called Lapsus, and in particular a young man by the name of Arion Kurtaj, an 18-year-old fellow whose trial recently wrapped up, and let's just say it's the only time you'll hear me defending an Arion in my videos. Oh, yo, I got that invisible 7-up. Okay, and so today we're going to discuss the outcome of Arion Kurtaj's trial, the hacking group he belonged to, Lapsus, and whether or not the trial was actually able to deliver some form of justice. So I've mentioned them a few times now, but we're starting the video off with this hacking group, Lapsus $. I don't know exactly how to say it, but that's what it looks like. They're an international hacking group or club made up of extremely talented hackers that is known for their capabilities to hack incredibly large corporations and even government bodies such as the Brazilian Health Ministry. Let's be real, they probably just leaked a bunch of unreleased Bolsonaro hospital pics. And of course, the only reason we know about this group that we're talking about today is because of their frequent ransom and extortion demands that have left a lot of their members holed up in jail. So let's take a look at just a few of their most infamous attacks, starting with 2021 when they attacked the Brazilian Health Ministry. See, they obtained vaccination figures and other key figures that Brazil had obtained relating to the COVID-19 pandemic. Totaling up to about 50 terabytes of data after their demands were not met, they deleted it all, causing a lot of panic for the Brazilian government. See, after their 2021 breakout, 2022 would be the year that they put themselves on the map after hacking IT company Okta and computer hardware company Nvidia in January and February, respectively. They would end up getting little from Okta, but did end up posting the credentials of over 71,000 employees of Nvidia. However, it was March of 2022 when they got real freaky with it. In 1 month, they would hack Samsung, Ubisoft, T-Mobile, Microsoft, Globant, and Mercado Libre. I swear I did not make those last two up. At this point, I think they were trying to flex, give the world a glimpse of what they were capable of, the size and scope of the companies that they were able to hack into with relative ease. This would, however, unfortunately put the London police onto their trail, which did eventually lead to the arrest of 7 individuals believed to be involved with the hacking group, all aged between 16 and 21. However, despite the appearance that the group had disbanded and were no longer active, a few months later, they would re-emerge. And this is where the organization would peak, reaching the top of their game, admittedly flying a little close to the sun, because in September 2022, they would go on to hack Uber and Rockstar Games, 2 massive, large companies that would undoubtedly show their skill and capability, but also get them all of the stars just wanted for days. Because despite not appearing to leak much of Uber's information, they did go on to leak a lot of Rockstar Games' information. Specifically, 90 videos of alpha-level pre-release GTA 6 gameplay footage. And I remember this being a huge hack at the time because it revealed a lot of things that we didn't know about the game. It revealed the female protagonist of the game, it revealed the Florida setting, and showed off quite a bit of gameplay. Not that GTA gameplay is gonna, be all that different from the last game, but it would have been a bad leak for Rockstar. This would not only be the most iconic Lapsus hack, but seemingly the last one, as any remaining members appear to have either scurried off or joined other hacking groups. But this is where our story gets a little bit more focused, because now we need to discuss Arion Kurtaj, the individual who is believed to be largely behind the Rockstar Games hack. You see, remember I said in April of 2022, 7 mostly teenagers were arrested for the Lapsus attacks? Well, Arion Arion was one of them, meaning that in September of 2022, when he hacked Rockstar Games in one of their biggest leaks to date, he was in police custody. See, Arion is on the autism spectrum, and I think it's fair to call him a savant of hacking, because despite being kept in a travel lodge with his laptop confiscated, he was able to use an Amazon Fire Stick, a hotel TV, and a mobile phone to commit one of the most infamous and iconic hacks in recent history. To me, I mean, despite it being a crime, what he did, I think it's pretty damn impressive. I mean, with so few resources, this 17-year-old was able to hack one of the largest entertainment companies on Earth. Give this guy a job or something. He's clearly extremely talented. But they did not give him a job. You see, in fact, due to his having autism, the court deemed him unfit to stand trial, ultimately asking the jury not whether he had any criminal intent when committing the crimes, but simply whether or not he committed the criminal acts at all. The jury, of course, found that he did commit the criminal acts. What a surprise. They also heard of him to have been violent while in police custody, reportedly causing some injury and property damage. They also cited a mental health assessment he had undergone, indicating that he continued to express the intent to return to cybercrime as soon as possible. He is highly motivated. This assessment, along with his reported violence and his being deemed unfit to stand a regular trial, would lead to him being handed down an indefinite detainment in a psychiatric facility until his doctor deems him fit to no longer be a danger to the public. Now, this is crazy and ableist, and there's a number of things that I would object to here, starting with his violence. Now, communication is not always verbal, and in a lot of instances, behavior is a form of communication. And so if Arion was feeling unhappy or even feeling unfairly oppressed, his autism may make it difficult for him to express himself verbally, which would undoubtedly be frustrating as hell. And so for those feelings to manifest themselves in a physical or violent outburst is not particularly surprising or uncommon. And if the judicial system had a deeper understanding of intellectual disabilities, maybe they'd understand that violence as a behavior can be indicative of very different things for different individuals with different communication abilities. They say he is highly motivated to return to cybercrime, and to me, this shows a passion for hacking and cybersecurity and tells me that he wants to continue doing the thing that he's talented at. I think you could call it a failure of educational and legal systems, that there's no pathway for this guy's interests in cybersecurity and hacking to lead to any sort of meaningful, gainful, and sustainable employment. Our society hasn't made clear pathways for guys with these super hacking abilities to make a living for themselves and integrate into society in a healthy, harmonious way. And that leaves the only places for them to explore and flex their hacking talents to be these underground hacking groups. And so I think it's incumbent on broader society and our educational systems to acknowledge the existence of people with these talents and abilities and find ways to support them in a way that they can harness their abilities for their own gain and for the good of the public. Because otherwise, nefarious groups and hacking groups will certainly take advantage of their talents. Now, lastly, I want to finish with the indefinite hospital order that I think is pretty immoral, to be honest. For one, I think indefinite detention of anyone without a very clear conviction and reasoning is pretty shady. I also think that neurodivergent people can do crime and be convicted of crimes without having to be infantilized to the point where their release hinges entirely on the opinion of a doctor. I, of course, can't speak specifically for Arion Kurtaj, but I do think that a lot of neurodivergent people are capable of engaging with the legal system without being treated like invalids. I want to make it clear that I think accommodations within the legal system is good. If someone is neurodivergent and facing legal consequences, if they need to have a support worker or a speech therapist or a psychologist, I think those accommodations are good. But being accommodated by the legal system is very different from being actively disenfranchised by it. My ultimate point is that I think this indefinite hospital order placed on Arion Kurtaj is wholly inappropriate and bad and been wrong. I wouldn't necessarily go as far as to say that he should be out and about in public. I mean, he did commit some pretty high-profile crimes, and I think he should face consequences for those actions, but I don't think it helps him or anyone else really for him to spend the rest of his life wasting away in a psychiatric facility. I think his talents can and hopefully could be one day used for good. I mean, companies can even benefit from monitoring hostile hackers coming into their security systems because then they know more of the exploits available to foreign actors. And listen, I'm not saying that for this guy to eventually integrate into society and have some kind of a cybersecurity employment contract wouldn't take a lot of accommodations and effort and even growth on Arion Kurtaj's part. But I just think engaging with those challenges and trying to have a society where there is some form of justice available to everyone is an important effort to try and make. To say that he just took his talents too far and now he's not allowed near a keyboard for the rest of his life is kind of sad, I think. Let this kid continue to hone and develop his skills. Just let him be shepherded towards using them for good. So yeah, that's about it for this story. I just thought looking at the sheer capability and talent of this kid, it's really sad and frankly outrageous that the legal system is treating him this way. I do just want to be clear at the end. I'm not saying that he should go unpunished, but maybe to punish him shouldn't just mean to place him in an indefinite hold in a psychiatric facility. I mean, maybe, just maybe, we can help the kid, right? But that's my take on all this. I hope you found the story interesting and worth engaging in. I just think that there's a vast misunderstanding of disabilities within a lot of our institutions. And I think when those misunderstandings continue to manifest, this is the kind of thing you get. But hopefully you've learned a thing or two and might think about a few things in this story with a little bit more nuance going forward. That's about it. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you tuning in. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.